We got some pretty exciting announcements this week.
This had their first manga announcements of the year, and let me tell you, they were super exciting, especially for shoujo fans. I don't,
Yeah!
I don't think they've ever gone this like shoujo heavy
Yeah,
for
there
one of
was
their
quite a
manga
bit.
announcements. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was not expecting it, and I feel like a lot of Twitter wasn't expecting it either because the responses were absolutely insane in the best way possible.
Let's be real, we expect a bone and we got a feast!
We did. Yeah, pretty much. Let me get started with a series that I was personally very excited about. So this comes from the creator of Kamisama Kiss,
I know this
Julietta
one.
Suzuki. Yes. So this one, the title is Otaku's Vampire Love Bite.
I actually read some of this.
You read it?
I read some of it.
I've been
I haven't finished it or like I'm caught up or anything, but I
yeah,
started
yeah,
it.
yeah. Kind of wanted to check it out, but I'm just gonna wait for the translation. But
Yeah.
I've been super excited about this one. I love Kamisama Kiss, and this is, as the title of the series suggests, it's a vampire series, but with a
Yes.
twist because we have a nerdy otaku vampire girl. The quick synopsis is some vampires live to feast on the blood of their victims. Others just want to score super limited edition anime merch. So, a very different type of vampire manga, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited because like I love things that include like otaku culture, like, and
Yeah, me
being an
too.
otaku, especially like female otakus, because I'm like, yes, I relate to this. I there's like the male character in it too who like it's like, oh my god, I love you because he looks like her Oshi, like her favorite character, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really funny. It gives me like not Kamisama, sorry, Kiss Him Not Me vibes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where like what's his name, Nana, yeah, Nana, his whatever his name is, the blonde one who looks like
Yeah, yeah.
Kai's like favorite
Yes.
like male character.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's just like that, and I was like, oh, it's so cute. The art style also is really cute as well too.
Yeah. Like she's, if you haven't seen any images of this series, honestly, just picture super fangirl, like Ida bag, keychains, all of that, but with a very cute otaku, like female vampire. It looks adorable.
It is very
And
adorable.
I mean, I'm super excited because this series hasn't been out in Japan very long. Like they picked it up very quickly.
Well,
So
I
once they,
feel like Kami-sama Kiss is really popular,
yeah,
so they were like, this is gonna be popular too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm very glad that they actually like bit the bullet and licensed something that is currently ongoing in Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, it will kind of suck when we do catch up to the Japanese release because then we're going to be playing like the waiting game.
Yeah.
But it's okay because honestly, like the fact that we're getting it this year
Mm-hmm.
is super exciting. And then from there, they decided to throw a curveball that nobody was expecting, especially because this was a big conversation last year. Was it
Mm-hmm.
last year or 2 years ago?
Might have.
When they had people were very critical of the Shoujo Beat Tumblr when they said that they had no intention to print out of print series like Bizarra and Red River and all of those.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember, like, especially on TikTok, like people were very outspoken to the fact that like editor Nancy has just said like, "Oh well, too bad."
Like,
Like if you
haha, too
weren't a
bad. Sucks
yeah,
for
like if
you.
you weren't alive back then, like I mean, you needed to pick up those series basically back when they were released. So people were very, very critical of that
Mm-hmm.
because how do you expect people that weren't even born when the series was out to buy these out of print series? And like a lot of these, if you go on like Mercari or eBay, resellers had them for like a grand.
Oh
Like I'm not
God.
even joking. Like they have priced those series. I mean, we saw Nana last like not last year. Lockdown. Those since Nana had not been printed in during that time. People were selling those for like half a grand.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
they
they're
were. There's like they were also doing the same thing with like banana fish as well too.
yeah. So they announced that they're going to be reprinting the Shoujo classic Red River that was previously out of print. Like they had no intentions to like print that again, but based on the very overwhelmingly popular demand, they're bringing it back as
Well,
a
I
three
feel
in one.
like putting it up for pre-order and just printing off what people want is so much easier than
Hmm.
just being like, nope, never again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, they really. I feel like now that they most likely found a printer that can actually accommodate for those three in one volumes because they had, I think the last ones before this one. I mean, they do the get beat ones, but they haven't really announced a shoujo three in one in a very long time. I think the last ones were the Maid Sama ones.
Well, they also did a Paradise Kiss. No, wait. Did they have Paradise Kiss? No.
Mm-mm. That is, I think it's actually Seven Seas that has the rights for that one because they
Oh,
did
okay,
like a
never mind, never mind.
single, like full collector's edition type of thing,
Yeah,
like it's
I
a
have the full
ginormous.
collector's edition one.
I mean, they did a Neighborhood Story. That's like essentially a two in one.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Red River. We're finally
Woo!
getting
Yeah.
Red River without having to spend $1,000, which is so exciting.
Oh
So
man, I bet the people trying to sell their copies are
oh,
kicking their feet up in the air and just like rolling in their
absolutely.
grave.
Yeah. For those of you who are not familiar with Red River, it is a classic fantasy romance series. So it's like a period piece. I've never read it, but I do know that when they introduced the Viz app, the Viz Manga app last year, they
Hmm.
did add Red River. So they probably, I think that's probably one of the bigger influences too, for them
Oh,
deciding to
that they
actually
had a
print
lot
it.
of people reading it online
Mm-hmm.
or on the app. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
It's
I miss Shoujo Beat the magazine is what I miss.
a lot of people do. I mean,
Like,
maybe we'll see a magazine revival. Who knows? I feel like
I would
everything that
love
is old
that.
comes back.
For those of you who don't know, Shoujo Beat had a magazine back in
Hmm.
the two mid 2000s, right?
Yeah.
I had bought like I think they're very last. It's so funny because
Oh
I
no.
saw I had saw the Shoujo Beat magazine in my local like bookstore,
Hmm.
and they never have like any manga or anything, but they had this, and I had bought it, and I was like, Mom, please spend the $7 on this, please, I want this, and she got it for me, and
Hmm.
it was the very last volume they had ever issued.
Oh.
And I was really upset because I was like, I wanted more. But like basically what the
Hmm.
magazine would do is exactly the magazines in Japan where they have like Shonen Jump
Hmm.
and stuff, is that they would put a manga chapter in there, and then you would read it, and
Hmm.
you would read monthly these different chapters.
It would be cool if they actually do bring it back, or even just like a. I mean, I know they do like the simul pubs or whatever on the app, but like I don't know, even like an version of Shoujo Beat magazine would be pretty cool.
It would be actually pretty cool. I
Hmm.
just missed that because they had so many different series. They had like Vampire Night was in it.
Well, funny that you bring Vampire Night because that was one of the announcements.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
Segue.
they, I know, that was a good one. Promise we didn't even rehearse that. So,
There's also another segue in there, but we'll get to that in a second.
yeah. They announced a complete Vampire Night box set. So it has all the volumes from like the original series, and it also comes with an art book. Like it's a,
Ooh.
I don't think I've ever seen them do like a such a big box set for a shoujo series, but it looks
And it
cool.
has to be Vampire Night, I guess.
It had to be Vampire Night.
You know what? You know what? We all shit on Vampire Night. And you know what? Does Vampire Night deserve the shit? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But you know what? We have to admit that this was a cultural reset for us weebs in the 2000s, okay? Like this
Yeah.
was our Twilight.
Yes.
So like, you know, whether is it well written? Not really. Is it entertaining? Absolutely it is. It is so entertaining. Like when I had rewatched Vampire Night with JoJo, we like it was so funny because I probably have said this on here before, but he shipped Yuki and Kaname and he had no idea. He had no clue about the show because I was like, we just sat down, we're like, you want to watch a trashy anime? And I was like, I got one. And so we watched it and he was like, yeah, I really like Kaname. I really don't like Zero, which to be honest, on the rewatch, I was not feeling Zero either. I was kind of like, Zero is being too broody for me, and he's just like never communicates with Yuki, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Look, she's literally grown up with vampires. I don't know why you keep secrets from her. Like she literally is in love with Kaname, and you think that telling her she's a vampire would make her turn away from you? But yeah, no, JoJo was super liked Kaname and was like, Kaname and Yuki is definitely the best. And then the fucking reveal happened, and he looked at me and he was like, how dare you lead me on like this? How dare you lie to me?
But I mean, the fact that it's getting because I already had a box set. This is a newer version of the box set. Like, that means Vampire Night is still bringing in the money.
Yeah, apparently. You know what? So we can't let go of our middle school cringe days, okay?
No, I guess not.
You know, millennials cringe, right? Like that's the cringe series right there. Like, did we really think twice about what we were reading? Probably not. Absolutely not. But like, we didn't either with Twilight.
True. Yeah. All right. So going from a box set announcement, now we have a very anticipated series. Like this one was one that both a lot of shoujo creators on TikTok as well as on Twitter had been begging for.
Mm-hmm.
So they finally announced that they're licensing Colette Decides to Die. And this is me just speculating. But I think the success of Apothecary Diaries might have played a role in this one just because there's a lot of very similar themes. Colette is actually an overworked apothecary that finds romance and a new lease on life in an underworld. So that is like the short version.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's another series about an apothecary. She, instead of dying, she finds herself caring for a new patient. So you get a lot of like mythology as well because she's taking care of Hades.
Okay.
The Lord of the Dead.
Lord of the Dead, okay.
Yeah. So it's a kind of like a rom-com about the underworld in an apothecary.
Okay,
I heard it's really good. I have not read it, but I've heard nothing but like praises for this series. I'm very excited. And it's gonna be a two-in-one volume release, so they confirmed that it's going to be that same quality and size as the neighborhood stories.
Give me that fat manga.
Yeah. I mean, if you haven't picked up Neighborhood Stories, honestly, go pick it up because
I watched the anime. I haven't read the manga though.
Oh, the print is so beautiful. They really outdid themselves with like the quality of it.
Oh, good.
It is priced higher than like other shoujo titles, but also feels nice. Like it has a little French flap. The covers are like matte. Like it just feels like more luxe.
It's so funny because I feel like every time I have a conversation about anime and I'm just like, yeah, I really like this anime called Neighborhood Story. Everyone's like, I've literally never heard of that. And I'm like, so good though. How could you? Same with Paradise Kiss.
This serves as a good segue because they also announced another Ai Yasawa series.
Yes, they did.
And this one's maybe even less known overseas than like Neighborhood Story.
Mm-hmm.
So they licensed last quarter. So this is a supernatural mystery about two star-crossed lovers from the creator, of course, Nana, Paradise Kiss, Neighborhood Stories. So quick synopsis, because I wasn't familiar with this at all. This is the first time it's ever been printed in English, so super exciting. So it says, struggling to adapt to life with a new mother and sister after her father's remarriage, Mizuki meets a blue-eyed man playing guitar on the street in Shibuya and is powerfully drawn to him. How far will she go to see him again? After a brush with death, young Hotaru meets Mizuki for the first time in a dream. The next day, while out looking for her missing cat, Hotaru wanders into an abandoned mansion and comes face to face with the girl she met in her dream.
Is it Scott Pilgrim?
does. Oh my god. It's Ai Yasawa's Scott Pilgrim
This is
remix.
as always. Scott Pilgrim. Well, you know what's funny though about this announcement that happened is I
Mhm,
saw so many comments on TikTok
mhm.
of people being like, "Oh, so she releases this, but she doesn't continue Nana." And I wanted to bang my head so hard into the fucking desk because I'm like, this is not new work. This is
Yeah,
work
this
that
is not.
was between Neighborhood Story and Paradise Kiss. This came out in the late 90s.
Well, I kind of felt like it was the same thing when they announced like Neighborhood Story, and like people were like, "Wait, is this new?" It's like, no, no, no. This is like
This is like old. It's
this
really
is
old.
old. We're just finally printing that in the in English, but like, yeah, it's just fans that you can just Google it and see like all. I was gonna say her discography. You
Er,
can see the list of everything she's written in chronological order.
Yes, yes, you can. I'm excited for this one because I haven't read this. It doesn't have an anime. It's just a manga.
Mm-mm. Yeah, one of the things that I tweeted this as well. Like, I'm very happy with what publishers have been licensing recently. Like, not only have we been getting like a lot of shojo
Mhm.
the past like maybe year and a half, but it's like different shojo. It's not just your like typical high school romance and everything's fluffy. Like we've been getting, a really good variety of like genres in the shojo demographic and just different storylines that like
Yes.
kind of go beyond what I guess like the non-shojo audience.
Thinks of shojo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do we
Yeah.
have any other
Well,
announcements?
not necessarily shoujo beat, but Viz Media. I would say out of like the main publishers, Viz Media is the one that rarely ever publishes, especially like GL and Yuri.
Yeah.
And they actually announced one today, which was
Oh.
a very nice surprise. Yeah. So this one is Rainbows After Storms. It's actually a GL published in Shonen Sunday, but it is about two girls, two best friends in high school. They have a secret relationship, so you kind of navigate through, the ups and downs of hiding this relationship
Hmm.
in front of like all their classmates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It looks really interesting. I'm excited to see more.
What do
See
you mean?
them
They're just
step
best
in.
friends.
Best friends. Air quotation.
Yeah,
But
just
yeah,
like
I'm just
Nana
excited
Nana
that
and
they
Hachi.
announced
Just
it.
best friends.
Mm-hmm. Just best friends.
Just best friends.
So overall, very good variety. I was very happy with the announcements. This is probably the strongest Viz Media manga announcement that they've had
Oh,
in a
absolutely.
while. Everything that I spoke about is coming out this fall, so we won't have to wait too long,
Okay,
which
that's
is
good.
even
That's
better.
good.